gives us a great joy in behalf of the United American Progress Association to give you an award that states for doing most to help the black community by doing most of your spending with black-owned businesses. It gives me the greatest joy to give you this award.
Thank you so much, UAPA and Dr. Webb Evans. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is just so heartwarming. For those of you who don't know, the name of our project that we started this year is called the Empowerment Experiment, which is our family's pledge to exclusively support black businesses to the extent that we can for one entire year. Okay? What we also would like to do is prove out empirically, okay, with researchers following us from some of the top universities, to see if self-help economics can help lift the black community. This is practiced in every other ethnic group in this country. And that's the reason that we don't, or one of the reasons that we do this is because we're at the bottom of every measure of social progress in this country. We do this because we want a better future for our kids and their friends. Because we're in crisis. We are in crisis. We have to do this. This is not racist. This is strategic planning. Not racist to love and support women. Now, you guys are really in for a treat because I'm kind of the man behind the woman who has become the face of the empowerment experiment that's become a national movement. And for those of you, just if you got a pen, take down our website. It's EE4Tomorrow. That's EEFOR tomorrow.com. You can learn about how the press has followed us and how this movement is becoming national. But my wife has a couple prepared words. For those of you who heard a couple weeks ago, about a month ago now, she's a phenomenal speaker, and she is the passion behind this movement. Without further ado, my lovely wife, Maggie Anderson.
I'll be mommy for a few minutes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Whenever we talk about why we do this, people in the generation before me, like Webb Evans, will say, "Oh, Maggie, we just love you. We're so proud of you. You wouldn't believe back in the day, back in our time, this thing would have been so easy. There were drugstores and department stores and grocery stores and dry cleaners, black-owned, right at the corner." And that's the whole reason we started this movement. I decided, at least for these two little babies, they're going to have that life anyway. They live in Oak Park, but their banker is black, their gas station is black, their grocer is black, their dollar store is black, their dry cleaner is black, their car repair is black. Everything they know, every entrepreneur these girls know is black. All right. We don't have that for everyone now, but my two girls do. And I made that decision so that they can see that our black people, the leaders in our community, are not gangbangers and drug dealers. We are business people, we're smart, we're beautiful, we're talented, and that's the life they know at 3 and 4. All right. Some of you know of our story. I'm going to take a few minutes to get into it right now. If you guys let me stretch out my wings and talk a little bit about this empowerment experiment, if you let me preach just a little bit. I really don't need that music. Can you turn it down for me so we can get in preaching mode? A couple of years ago, my husband and I celebrated our anniversary at a fancy restaurant downtown. We spent a few $100s on this dinner. The whole time when we were there, we talked about the crises in our community, the crime, the drugs, and what we can do to change things. We talked about mentoring and volunteering and doing some youth programs. Then the check came. Then we paid the bill. And that's when we realized that we were part of the problem we spent all those hours at dinner talking about fixing. Our businesses needed those hundreds of dollars. Our people needed that money. So for all the talk of the people in my generation who went to Harvard like my husband did, who went to University of Chicago like I did and earned my JD and MBA, who wouldn't have had those opportunities had it not been for you. For all that talk we do at all the fancy dinners, we asked ourselves, what were we really doing? And you know what we did after that dinner? Nothing. We went home and we kept on talking about the crises in our community. And then my moment came. That's when I got the call that my mother had 1 month to live. She was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. That was the moment that started the empowerment experiment. That's when God told me that I no longer had the right to give up or to give in. I no longer had the luxury of choosing between living the dream, the fancy vacations in the private schools, and fighting for the dream anymore. There's too many people in my generation that believe that it's either or. We decided there has to be a way that we can continue living a wonderful life, but fight for our dream every day. That's what we do in the empowerment experiment. There's not a day that I lay my head and I put those girls to bed and I clean their little booties without knowing that I did something for my people. How many people can say that? So we did do something. We made our pledge to live off Black business and talent for an entire year. We called that pledge the Empowerment Experiment. An experiment, a real-life case study in self-help economics. We decided to ask researchers from all the prestigious schools in Chicago, Northwestern University of Chicago, to follow our pledge. We've saved every receipt. We've boasted every dollar that we've spent on our website. We issued a press release. That press release didn't have to get picked up. I mean, who cares about where a middle-class Black family buys their groceries and spends money on their clothes? Who really cares? 9 months later, that little bootleg website that we created out of our basement has over 1.5 million hits. Major corporations and media websites cannot brag that. The world is watching the empowerment experiment. 10 months later, we've done MSNBC, CNN, CBS News, Fox News, BET News, Tom Joyner Morning Show, Doug and Dee Dee, all the big radio programs, all the major newspapers. All of them are talking about the empowerment experiment. Some call us the crazy kooky couple trying to start a racist cult. We don't care. It allows us to talk the same way we're talking to you, the same way I talk to Webb on the phone, to millions of people at a time. That's the empowerment experiment, showing them a beautiful, smart Black family living off Black business. They see me in my SUV driving 20 miles away from Oak Park to buy clothes for my girls, to buy shampoo, to buy detergent for my girls. And they say, and they wonder, what if there were more like her? What if there were more like her, driving in that SUV, looking for quality Black businesses, lifting them up, supporting them? What if there were more like her? This year, we've spent probably about $60,000 with Black businesses that we would not have had it not been for our pledge. What if there were more like me? There are more. Just this month, We have 20 families from across the country, people I've never met, people who've never seen me, we don't know anything about them, who took on our pledge, who are doing the empowerment experiment with us on camera, documenting every pledge, searching for black businesses, finding those quality black businesses, and spending money with them. They're doing the empowerment experiment with us. That's just this year. Next year, there will be thousands. What if there were more like her? What if there were more like her?